All right, good morning. So really quickly, I'm going to start with a story. It's a short story. And so basically what happens is this girl at the age of 13 in Sacramento gets her first boyfriend. And I know that's kind of young and it seems kind of weird, but first 2 months, things go by and everything's normal. Lovey-dovey stuff. And so she likes it. And so 3 months go by and she starts noticing that her boyfriend's a little weird and he's a little shady. He's kind of abusive. And so she thinks nothing of it, thinks it's like a stage or something. And so about another 3 months go by, and she finds herself in sex slavery and human trafficking. And sad to say that stuff like this goes on in her backyards in California, day in, day out. And so I feel like you need to know this information. So in this speech, I'm going to be sharing what Proposition 35 is, human trafficking, and why you need to know it. Mrs. Hoyer was that victim that survived and got out of the game. And she says that she was sold on the streets of Sacramento, only a block away from the Capitol building. And that's pretty crazy to me, thinking that's almost like saying someone, that's like having someone come up to you and be like, oh yeah, I was in sex slavery. I was sold at the Starbucks next to the White House, or something of mass importance. So, in this speech, I'm going to be going over 3 things with you. First, Proposition 35. I hope that you all voted on it. I'm going to be going over what it entails, what the laws actually have. Be going over the arguments for it, because there is 2 sides, and you all should know. And thirdly, the morality of it, and why it should have some importance to you. So first off, Proposition 35. Proposition 35 has a couple laws. The first one being the sentencing for prison terms. Sentencing for prison terms starts at 8 years, what it is currently now. But because of Proposition 35, it's going to have an increase to life sentence, which is huge. It's a huge gap. The second part is that Proposition 35, the charge is $100,000, which is now upped to the maximum being $1.2 million, which is huge. That's like right from here to here. It's a ladder climb, and so that's going to affect a lot of people who can't afford that. And so the third part will be sex offenders. Sex offenders will be all human traffickers that are caught will be registered as sex offenders, and as sex offenders, they have to disclose all Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, if you still use it, Twitter, anything like that, would have to be disclosed. And so people who are sex offenders as well will have to do the same thing. And it's kind of weird because sex offenders right now consist of those caught in sexual acts with minors and stuff like child pornography and others. And now it include people who not only are human traffickers, but those involved. So if you were the driver for that smuggled 2 girls to some house or something, you would be involved. If you took money, if you were given money and you were caught, you would also be marked as a sex offender. And so the last one would be what it entails to police, and that would be better way of knowing what to do there. Police officers would be more informed and have a better understanding how to deal with situations concerning human trafficking. The second part, that we went over the first, would be the arguments. There is a yes and no. Of course, the yes side agrees with everything. The yes side was backed by the LA City Council and both the Democratic and Republican parties. The no side, on the other hand, felt that the part of sex offenders in the Proposition 35 is a little too much, and that including those who didn't have anything to do with it or didn't know can ruin lives and can ruin people's careers. And it's kind of hard for someone who had no intentions of being part of this giant corporation, because I don't know if many of you know, but human trafficking is the largest growing illegal it's huge. It's not only California, it's the U.S., it's Europe, it's everywhere. And so it affects a lot of people. And if you're caught in it, you kind of have this title over your head that you can never, regain. You can never get that taken off. And so the no side feels that it's not properly, it's not a very good reform, and that it should be, the law should stay for minors, because there already is an 18 and above kind of like a program that the FBI put out that's to help those stuck in human trafficking that are over the age of 18. And so thirdly, I'm going to be going over the morality of it. And the morality of it is, it should have a tug on your heart and have some importance to you, because this is something that happens in not only Los Angeles, but San Diego and San Francisco being the three biggest parts of California. And if you ask me, I think money it has like no relevance compared to someone's life. People's lives are way more important than a tax or ingredient list that goes in your body or jail time. I mean, it's someone else's little girl that you're not fighting for, And so I hope that had some impact. So in this speech, I told you a little about Proposition 35. I went over the arguments for both sides. And I also told you a little about morally why you should be concerned with this. I read the results. 83% of you guys voted yes to only 16% which voted no. And that's huge. That means that, that someone like Mitch Hoyer today will have a fighting chance and get a regular life at the age of 13 to get to grow up and go to high school and actually get a real boyfriend and live a life without the abuse and the sexuality that's brought against her that she didn't need. And so I hope that all of you voted yes on 35. And thank you for your time.